Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative podcast in all of professional wrestling. Once again, you already know what it is. You already know where you've reached. My name is Sean Hubbard. His name is Conrad Cushman. But I want to start the show off. We're going to get into a lot of things: Money in the Bank, Forbidden Door. Check my tagline. I think Will Ospreay has proved he's the best in the world. I know it's up to debate. I'm ready to jump into all of it. But Conrad, chat, I want to give you guys a little bit of seriousness before we start off the show, okay? There's this quote that I looked up today, and I really want to share it with you. You know, the tagline, Conrad dropped that thing is coming. But before we do that, I just want to share with you guys something really important, okay? So focus. I want everybody to focus. Lopez, MLeezy, Joel, Quills, everybody in here, man. Just focus for me for 1 minute. The famous philosopher said, and I want you to take this to heart. The famous philosopher said, I don't know how to dance, but I can lean. I make the ghetto chicks put their hands on their knees. Again, I say, I make the ghetto chicks put their hands on their knees. Conrad, drop that thing.
The best opening man in the business, folks. Sean Hubbard of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly.
I just want to mess with y'all today, man. We're having fun. I'm feeling good. We're both tired. Conrad's running around. He's coming back from Canada. I've been working a double shift. It's crazy right now, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of fun. We make them ghetto chicks put their hands on their knees, man. Not no more. We're both taking, but we're having fun with you guys. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
Still feel free, though. I mean, whatever does well for the podcast.
Brother not trying to get in trouble now.
Oh, see, he starts roping me into this. I got to mess with him. We got a lot to talk about in regards to current pro wrestling. Big topics today are going to be leaning on WWE, AEW. Feel free to drop in, share the link, tell someone, tell a friend that we're live, pal. We're live. And let's get some people in here. If my voice goes out, you know why. If the energy feels low, you know why. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to keep it high tonight. First one in the house is Doug. Fresh to death like Dougie. Doug says, hey, yo, tonight's show is going to be a banger. Can't wait to see what Conrad, Sean, and the other members of the chat bring up tonight. Quill said, what's up? Conrad, Sean, and Chad. Again, my favorite part of Monday evening is here. Another dope clash of the podcast. Forbidden Door was crazy good. Let's get to chopping this fable.
Yes, sir.
Sean coming in. He was doing some due diligence for me. I was not very high on the marketing side, but Sean was covering for me, had my back. Yeah, so we are good. Tokyo the Men is coming in saying show of the year. Woo. Big praise. What up, Tokyo? Let's see here. Show timer went below 2:30. We all know what it means. It's going to be a good 5, though. I can't do this one justice.
MLeezy for Sheezy. Appreciate you, my G.
What is good, Mr. Matt Lopez? What is good? Doug said the anticipation. It's making me wait. Dick Vitale for anyone who is not a fan. Joel in the house. What's up, guys? We want to hear about Conrad at Forbidden Door. Okay. I'm going to let Sean's going to guide the show today. I'm just following along here. Anthony Slate said, hey, let's do this.
Let's do it. What up? We're just having some fun.
Haluva will say Haluva intro hubs.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Hubbard.
Jocelyn
Jocelyn, what did I walk into? What's up, Jocelyn?
Jocelyn, don't mind me. I'm bugging out today.
First lady in the chat. Oh, Matt, I gotta say this for Matt one time. This was one of the jokes on the trip throughout the night. This and the guy who said, "I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand." We just kept saying that to each other when someone would mess something up. I just want to shake your hand. It was Mr. CM Punk's old tribute to Kojima, and this I'll explain the inside joke if nobody gets it later. But lariat, Kojima, and I'll tell you where that's from after if you don't know. Eric says, Conrad, I want to ask you a question. Let's say hypothetically thinking Jamie isn't ready to come back. What, Eric? It's over. She is injured. She to come back by her home country. I think you're talking All In. Do you see a Saraya turn? No, I don't see Saraya turning face or Tony turning face. You put too much into them being heels at this point.
Exactly.
McKinney, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling and let y'all know. Keep your hands to yourself unless you're Butch on Monday. Here we go with the Butch.
McKinney, Quills, and Gamble. They send me fire stuff in the Instagram, man. I appreciate you guys.
That's what's gonna get me in trouble. The Instagram joints. Renegade L2K with the cowboy hat emoji. I'm gonna let that slide right now. I don't know. Don't be acting like JR in the DMs now. Let's go. Noob, how are you? Hope you're doing good, sir. Hope things are well. Noob gives some of the best shout outs in the Twitter wrestling community. If you are in one of his threads, he cares about you. Much appreciated. And B-Boy Skyline has popped in to join us. What is good, B-Boy? Much appreciated. Sean, I'm going to let you take over this thing, bro. I'm running the ones and twos. First time tonight, by the way. I usually don't bring up the pictures. Sean usually takes care of that. Sean, whenever you're ready to give me control, let me know, and I will take control of this. You just tell me if you're ready.
Wow. Is this really what we're doing right now? My hands have not moved.
I think you've sent it over to me. Yeah, I got it, Sean. Thanks.
Wow.
On you, bro.
Wow, the deception. Anyway,
Decepticon, baby.
I love it. So listen, you guys may be wondering, Sean bugging out quoting the baby lyrics to start the show. I want to have some fun because I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a very serious show for me, and I'm actually no joking right now. There's a couple of subject matters I want to tackle today, and I talked to Conrad about it, dropped it in his DM and his text message. Number one, before we get into the happenings of Forbidden Door and start getting ready for Money in the Bank, I want to talk about AEW and something that kind of rubs me the wrong way. They just announced on last night's pay-per-view. I don't know if I missed it previously, but I saw it for the first time last night at Forbidden Door when they mentioned that coming up on pay-per-view will be All Out. And the key to that is coming up on pay-per-view. Now, they may have made that announcement before. If they have, no problem. I may have missed it. But my point is, I just saw that last night. My thing is this. In chat, let me know. Conrad, of course, my brother, let me know. AEW is kind of asking a lot right now, bro. Now, All Out is going to be a pay-per-view, and then you expect us to come back let me reverse that. All In's going to be a pay-per-view, and then you expect me to come back a week later and spend another $50? I don't know, man. That's a lot. And I'm not a cheap, you know me. I'm not a cheap guy per se, but I'm not throwing money away either. What do you think, bro?
I think that they're doing something special with All In, but they can't tell you yet. And I feel like it's not a Tony Khan decision to tell you.
Okay. I
think it's going to rely on his business partners to tell you, and he's waiting for you can tell them.
Okay, I don't know. Dustin's saying that All Out was made. No, I'm not saying it wasn't made official. And Dustin, I agree. I appreciate it. If I missed the pay-per-view announcement, that's what I'm talking about specifically, the fact that it's going to be on pay-per-view. Because I'm not going to lie, and Conrad, if I missed it, please let me know I missed it, which is fine. I was kind of keeping hope that All Out would be a free, that they would remix it and make it free. Or at least some kind of like reduced price, but like back-to-back pay-per-views. That's a lot of money, bro. Like I don't know how people feel.
I don't think it's going to be any more money than you usually would spend. Now, so here's how I see it. AEW's got 4 main pay-per-views still.
Okay.
You have Double or Nothing. You have what's after that? I'm skipping Forbidden Door for a second, and I'll tell you why. All Out. Then you have this Full Gear and Revolution. I'm sorry, I skipped Revolution before that. So Revolution's the beginning, Double or Nothing, All Out, Full Gear. That's the order they usually go for the 4 big ones. Now they've added Forbidden Door into here. I think Forbidden Door is a treat for people who like New Japan. If you don't like New Japan, I can't see you wanting to order this. Why would you want to? You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
We don't know how All In's going to be able to be viewed. I can't imagine Tony expecting you to say, I want 50 again, and then he wants you to pay for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view possibly.
I don't know. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I want to get into the real debate, bro, because I know you have another thought. Give it to me.
No, I was just gonna say I don't see Tony doing something like that where he Ring of Honor, because there's crossover fans and there's also people who just watch Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So that Death Before Dishonor show, is it gonna be fire? I believe so, but how are you gonna balance all of this? That's the key. He's just got to figure out how to balance it. And I don't think you're going to get charged for everything, but some of the stuff is going to be like Ring of Honor, maybe $40 for the pay-per-view. Then you may get the other shows that are $50 normally, and then this All In. I think All In's going to be free.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. So that was my one point of contention. Then I had another. And I want to throw this out there, and I want to have a heated debate because I am ready. And last night, to me, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know when I get passionate about something. You know, Jey Uso. I mean, y'all know when I get fired up, and I'm telling you, this is on that level for me. There's not a soul on this earth, you understand me, that can tell me that Will Ospreay is not the greatest practitioner of professional wrestling in the world today. I don't care if you're CM Punk. I don't care if you're Kenny Omega. I don't care if you're one of my favorites of all time, Bryan Danielson. I don't give a crap who you are or what promotion. I don't care if you're Roman Reigns. Not that anybody would ever put Roman Reigns in the best wrestler alive category, but he's climbing that ladder. But at the end of the day, Will Ospreay is the undisputed best professional wrestler. There is no one in the world that does the art of professional wrestling any better than William Ospreay. I dare you to debate me. Talk to me.
I have no debate to in regards to that. I have nothing to say.
Okay.
I am not going to disagree about Will Ospreay. Do I think there's multiple people who are the best? Yeah, it depends on what your thing is. This is what I'm talking about. Wrestling is subjective, number one, folks. I use that term a lot. And actually, big shout out to, I believe it's Danny Birch, who liked my tweet. I think he might have followed me after this. But I put up a big thing about wrestling is all opinionated. We all come in with different opinions. No one's one opinion is more right than someone else's. I may have my point rooted in logic, and I may say I don't agree with that, what you're saying. And this is what happens in the creative rooms all day when they're talking about pro wrestling. Sean, like I said, Sean is the dude with that Jey Uso storyline. Sean is the dude who you're sitting there. I can tell you how I think it's going to go. If you were like, what do you think WWE is going to do? I have laid it out point by point by point, brick by brick by brick throughout all of this, right? And instead, what's going to wind up happening here? This A, B, C, D. You give it to Sean. Sean's like, well, what if C happens instead? Or what if we go to L? What?
Right.
What are you saying? What people wouldn't expect it. When Sean was saying it, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, that's different. That took me back. That's how you have to look at pro wrestling when it comes to this. If you like wrestling for talking, you're gonna love CM Punk. I love the stories. I like the talking. Get me invested into the match, and I'll get wrapped into it. If you love pure pro wrestling, that Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match. I don't know if you want to get into that first, or if you want to get into Money in the Bank.
Listen, I think that's a perfect jumping off point because All In might be the last pay-per-view you have to pay. I hope you're right. You were there live, man. First of all, I want to talk to you because I feel like this is a tremendous opportunity for us to give the fans, all of our people in here, our family in here, a really good perspective of what it's like to be in the building. I can talk about WWE pay-per-views. I can talk about SmackDowns, Raws, WrestleManias I can talk about, but I cannot talk about All Elite Wrestling from a perspective of being in the building. I can talk about New Japan. I covered a New Japan event. I did Supercard back in 2019. It was awesome when it was Ring of Honor. teaming up with New Japan. This is All Elite Wrestling going up against, New Japan in an epic series of matches. The second time they've done it. Last year was amazing. This year, I think they killed it. Tell me, give me some insight to the energy inside the building, man.
When you go in, I saw a lot of wrestling fans. So first, we went out to eat, of course, because brother likes to eat. So we went to a place. It was kind of like a bar and grill. Didn't drink anything. At least I didn't. And I just went out, and we were just kind of experiencing stuff, talking, because people. So our waitress knew instantly we're not from Canada,
right?
Because we were asking for certain things with our food, like, hey, do you guys got ketchup? Where's the mayo? Do you have this kind of sauce for the, like, we're like, is there blue cheese for the chicken wings? They're looking at us like, bro, what are you asking all this for?
Wow.
Then over after was like, where are you guys from? And she was like, I know you're from America. And we were like, yeah, from US. And then Buffalo. Then she was like, oh, okay. You're neighbors basically. I was like, yeah, we know we've been here before, but we got to ask for our stuff. She's like, oh, I know. So we had a good time, but in there. So I wore a CM Punk shirt. If anyone sees me on any of the stuff, look for a ball-headed dude.
What a surprise.
Yeah. It was just a clean shirt for the day. But someone else with me wore a CM Punk shirt, and we walked into the bar, like I said, and there were nothing but Elite and Bullet Club fan shirts looking at us when we walked in. It was just so tense as a wrestling fan, like, yeah, what's up? So the energy was really good, though. I think Toronto was a really good show, and I picked going to the show for a reason, because Sean's in New York City, and this is where we keep it a stack about where we're from. Sean's going to get the better show than me. 9 times out of 10, I know this, because Sean is in a bigger market. They have way more money, and it's the heart of professional wrestling. It has been and always will have a place probably in being the heart of professional wrestling.
I almost fell asleep in Barclays last year, so.
Yeah, it's a big city, though. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, Madison Square Garden used to be the heat check. Like, turn that guy, because if they don't like him, nobody likes him now.
Yeah.
When you come to Buffalo, it's all right. We can give them a B pay-per-view. You can get fully loaded. You know what I mean? That's what they give us. So I know going in, we ain't getting WrestleMania.
You know what? I'm starting it right now. Buffalo WrestleMania 41. Let's do it.
Not after that new stadium I saw. We did half a dome.
Yeah, I don't know why would you do a half a dome. I don't know.
Do the other half so you can have stuff there. Don't get me started with Buffalo. I don't know why we make the decisions we make, but they did that. So I knew, let's go to Toronto for this show. I kind of just suggested. I didn't know any of the matches. I just told my group, like, hey, let's try to go to Toronto. Let's see if we can do this. It took a lot of planning. Derek was not there, for the record. Something happened with Derek that ruined the entire experience for Derek. So if you see Derek on Wednesday, he might be pretty cheesed off, we'll just say. He got stuck. He tried to come after the fact, and then it was just bad news. Like, it was going to take him way too long to get there at that point. Needless to say, getting into the card was fun. I really enjoyed it. I came in during the middle of the Swerve match. So we came in during the pre-show, but it was moving pretty quickly. I had so much fun at the show, man. We started off with MJF, Tanahashi. I thought that was really good. I'm going to pull up this card so I can jog my memory.
Perfect segue. Let's talk about the show, because we'll get into Money in the Bank later, but let's give Forbidden Door top billing, because I think AEW and New Japan knocked it out the park last night.
Yeah. Well, you bring it up to me. You got this. You're MC this for me. You tell me.
Okay, we can start off with the trios match. We can start off with the trios match with the United Embassy. I think that's a good way to start.
United sorry, Mogul Embassy. This is confusing. So here's what I think about it. They got to get rid of Brian Cage out of this group, in my opinion.
Did you see my Instagram post about Brian Cage?
Yes, we agreed on some of the stuff. Brian, well, you were mean a little bit on that, but you were honest, because I kind of feel you at the same time. But I don't want to get too deep into what you had said.
It's all good.
I think Brian Cage needs to be out of that group, though. He doesn't fit. He sticks out like a sore thumb. He's got a mohawk. I don't know what he's doing. Brian Cage has to get in where he fits in. He has to play the character that's given to him, and I feel like he always stands out in a weird way. If someone's going to disagree with me, I respect it, but that's just how I feel.
I think he stands out in a weird way in wrestling. I think he's a sore thumb. Period. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the infatuation with that guy. I'm not a big Wardlow guy. Wardlow can run circles around Brian Cage.
Really? That's a big statement coming from Sean. I don't know if
I'm not a big Wardlow guy. Brian Cage, I mean, and to me, the changes in his persona, the changes in his hair, the changes in his outfits, all this stuff is like, to me, a reach. And somebody else, and I'm gonna get into it in a minute, Athena. Athena is somebody I have a big problem with as well. But let's start off with the trios match.
So here's what I want to. I don't even want to propose anything from this. Swerve and them won, but I want the Gates of Agony, Khan and Toa. I want them to be with Swerve, but I want them to dress more like Swerve style. I want Khan tank top, show your muscles. You're a big dude. Stop doing all the foolishness where you're running into your partner and all that. No, he's a muscular dude. He should be taking people down. He's a big dude. Toa, the dude, you take your eyes off of him, he's fast, he's going to take you out. Those two with Swerve, I like with Prince Nana. I think that works. Cage, I don't know where he fits. I think you got to take a step back to figure out where to put him, even if it's by himself. But we got to do something else different with him, in my opinion.
Agreed.
It just doesn't work for me.
Something that's lacking there, and I haven't been able to put my finger on it.
Right. It's time to start having wrestling parties again where people chip in to watch. You must have not been to an EPW party because I'm asking you to bring some food or something when you come.
Listen, you know why I think McKinney's saying that? I think McKinney's tapping into the conversation and started off the show. You know, people paying $50. I mean, it was hard. Look, when we were coming up, it was $50 or $40, maybe a little cheaper, maybe $39.99 a month. Now it's like $54.99 every other week.
Man, In Your House used to be $20.
Yeah, but I mean, we knew In Your House was only going to be a 2-hour show, but you know.
But I also knew never to ask for In Your House back then too. I just knew better.
Facts. But yeah, $54.99 every other month.
But that's what we do, Sean. And maybe there's other ways. Maybe you guys could tell a VPN to come sponsor you boys. I mean, we would like it.
You did not hear that from us. Now you got me doing PR on the show. You did not hear that from us.
I just said a virtual protection network. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, excuse me. I guess that's me who brought that. Whatever.
But I'm saying people are going to start finding other ways. When the prices get too high, people do things to.
No, that's a fact. I'm kidding around, but yes, that's a fact.
Dustin said
Forbidden Door was kind of a I'm sorry. Go ahead, Conrad.
No, I was going to say the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, Forbidden Door was kind of a letdown, so they better have fire match. Ooh, so you thought that Forbidden Door was a dud? I think you're very much in the minority with that one, dude.
I do not agree, but yeah. I was there, so maybe I'm biased though. By the way, everyone's biased in something. Don't let someone ever tell you I'm not biased. There's usually some form of bias.
You're biased to CM Punk. We know that.
How dare you say that, good sir?
How dare me speak the truth? Okay.
But what I'm saying is, even though I'm defending it, hear both sides of the point. That prevents from like super bias, but there's levels to biasness. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I said no to anything negative about Ospreay last week. No argument for me. I'm trying to catch up, man. We got a lot of
that guy saying no argument about my Ospreay argument. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try and scroll through these and pull these up. If you want me to stop or slow down, just let me know.
We got a lot to get into.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep running it, Sean. Keep running it, bro.
Yeah, so basically we had the trios match start off, the two trios matches. What I really want to dive into is Athena and her match in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup. I have a hot take on Athena. You know, we all knew Athena was going to win this match. They put her in a position to be on a little bit of a winning streak. She is the Ring of Honor World Women's Champion. I don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. Go to my Instagram. I'm not saying it's for a cheap plug. I'm saying it because you want to see what I wrote. Or matter of fact, I reposted my entire series of Instagram posts on my TikTok. So go check out my TikTok, Hub Wrestling _MVP. I'm very critical of Athena. I don't think that she has the charisma to be who people want her to be. I think the Eclipse, whatever she calls that move, I think it's amazing. I think it was amazing in WWE. I think she's a talented girl as it relates to her athletic ability. but her mannerisms, her facial expressions, it seems like she's just doing way too much. Right? Like if you look up "doing too much" in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Athena. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't get the energy. She comes across corny to me. And I hate to say that, especially about a young African American sister trying to come up and do her thing. I love the fact that she's a champion, but she doesn't do it for me. She didn't do it for me in NXT. She didn't do it for me in WWE, and she doesn't do it for me in AEW. And that's just the bottom line. Tokyo the Menace is saying Athena has been the best female wrestler this year. That's to me. That's respectfully. I appreciate you being here. Always a great guest, Tokyo, but her being the best female wrestler of the year, that's silly to me. There's nobody better in the world right now than Jade Cargill. Period.
Rob also wanted me. Shout out to the Loose Moose. That was the restaurant. Rob also did have the beers, so you see the cups clanging, baby. Yeah, we had a good time there. Canada's very different than the U.S. Who you telling, bro? Who you telling? Yep. Did you try Tim Hortons? We got Tim Hortons here in Buffalo, so that's our mainstay. We got Dunkin', but them parking lots are empty always, with all due respect to Dunkin' Donuts. But cheese ain't blue in Canada. You never know. Pro Wrestler Shoot was good. Conrad, how was the CM Punk reaction in person? I will get to that. Once we bring it up. I'm trying to look through all this stuff. Great
your boy Dustin wants smoke. I can tell your boy Dustin wants smoke.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm going to say this about Athena. I will agree with you to a point about the facial reactions. Sometimes I don't understand them at all. Why she's doing what she's doing. But once again, I'm not a wrestler. I'm not in the ring. Maybe there's a reason for this. Maybe she was told to do this. Now, when we get into Athena, like, whose fault is Athena for not being in the spot she's in or why she's treated the way she is, I kind of blame that on NXT and WWE. From a long time ago. Now we're going to jump in Conrad's Wayback Machine to the last time I was in Canada for SummerSlam.
Right, and before you get into your point, I want to clarify one thing. I said the best active female wrestler is Jade Cargill. The best female wrestler in the world in 2023 has been Mercedes Moné. Just want to throw that out there. Go ahead.
Right. My point with this is go back to NXT. Why was she never allowed to be Asuka? That's what ruined her from the beginning in people's eyes. Because I thought she was going to be the one to finally do it, and they were like, nah, Asuka needs that undefeated streak for the main roster.
Just to lose it to who?
Charlotte. Beep, boop, Flair. Why?
And if anybody says Charlotte's the best female wrestler in the world, you're freaking bugging.
Charlotte, hold on, let's give respect. Charlotte deserves respect. But when you start giving up everything to her, that's where people lose the believability, what we're trying to get you to do in pro wrestling here, right? Charlotte, to me, cannot just start taking streaks from people, just asking for title shots. Like, she's just showing her privilege as the character she is, and it's dumb. Like, I just don't like it personally. And if she's supposed to be a babyface now, it ain't working, fam.
It's not. Because this change is coming in Bianca Belair. The fans are going to cheer Bianca Belair now, ironically. If she turns on, if she beats the crap out of Charlotte, the fans are going to cheer Bianca Belair.
Right. You could put anybody in that spot and people will cheer them against. Charlotte should just be a heel permanently. And I don't know if they've accepted that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just make her a heel and, yeah, hashtag deal with it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
It's unfortunate. It puts people in a position to have to cheer for somebody they don't want to cheer for or rebel like wrestling fans typically do. But yeah, I mean, back to Athena though. I
just think that they've always hurt her, Sean. And then she was on the main roster when I went to SummerSlam. She faced Bayley. You know what that was? They were I'm going to say the secondary women's title match. You know how I've always said this. One of the belts is more important than the other. They will tell you which one it is. Look at the card ranking when they're both on the card. Look at what they do with the other one versus the other one all the time or throughout the year. Just peep the game. Or who's holding it also changes it. They had her go in and lose to Bayley. You got to give her something so people will believe. And now I think that stank has carried over to AEW.
Well, I mean, I can only speak for myself though, and I think you're right, but that's not what's doing it for me. What's doing it for me is that I think Athena is a tremendous athlete with a tremendous moveset whose charisma is lacking. I don't. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and let me ask the chat this, because here's the thing: we have to take everything into consideration, guys. When we talk about a female star, a male star, any kind of star, are promos not part of what makes somebody a star? Would The Rock be what The Rock was if he wasn't able to cut a promo, or Stone Cold, or Triple H, or Shawn Michaels, or The Undertaker? Like, no, right? Give me one awesome Athena or Ember Moon promo. Don't worry, I'll wait. She can't talk. She can't talk.
But I think her Ring of Honor run has been the best thing I've seen her do in the business since NXT.
Okay.
So with that, I'm willing
to see her winning this tournament because she's on like a 40-match undefeated streak.
She is someone who I can see being in the finals. She's in my top 3. If I had to pick 3 people to win it, she's in my top 3. She might be number 3, but she's in my top 3.
Maybe I need to look a little closer. I don't see it, but okay.
Give it a deep dive. Give it a try. Adam Cole ended up getting sick. We didn't get the match with Tom Lawler. Can't speak too much into it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to move forward with some of these.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
Tony Storm and Willow, I felt bad for them. A lot of the fans got up during that match to go to the restroom and stuff. Like when they showed the promo clip, you saw like people leaving in droves, and I was kind of like, dude, do you know Willow and Tony Storm? They're great, and they put on a good match. I thought. I didn't think they deserved that.
I actually thought that Willow should. I like Tony Storm, but I thought it would be great from a storyline perspective to see Willow win the match. But
let's see what other ones we could jump into. And I know I'm jumping all over the place with this, but I'm just trying to go in like terms of excitement and what to talk about, and I'll save the best stuff for the end here. MJF and Tanahashi in the opener. Cool.
Was Tanahashi moving a little bit gingerly to you?
Oh no, Tanahashi's knees are done.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if people know that. He has obliterated his knees doing the high fly flow, entertaining us since like 06. But for those who don't know this, I'm about to give you a lesson in New Japan because I love it. I think that Tanahashi's how do I want to put this? Tanahashi saved New Japan Pro Wrestling from the Sean. I'm about to let you know. I'm a nerd, and I've been watching this since the Inokiism days. So when Antonio Inoki last had New Japan, Minoru Suzuki and all them came in because they were MMA fighters as well, and they were trying to make it more realistic with the pro wrestling in the ring. That wasn't working too hot. They had Muda over there. They had Akibona. They had these crazy characters, Bob Sapp, if you guys remember. They had a lot of stuff going on over there. Fast forward, it's hanging on by a thread. Who's going to save this company? Tanahashi and Okada are the two guys who end up saving it. Tanahashi was first, though, and they all wanted him to face John Cena and do these things. He is great, and that's why I think people should just give him his respect. I know his knees aren't the best anymore, and he's moving slower. He doesn't look as good. He saved New Japan. You wouldn't have this show if it wasn't for him, possibly.
Agreed.
So I just don't want people to dog Tanahashi too bad.
No, I'm not dogging him either. I noticed he was moving a little gingerly, but I mean he still put on a good show. And like I said, it makes me even respect him more that he went out there. He's clearly not 100%.
Right. And what up, DJ B Tazzy? What's good? The party. He's usually live during WWE times, NXT especially. He said that he agreed about that she should have been the one to beat Asuka.
Right.
I agree. And Tazzy's Mr. NXT, like he said. So go check him out if you are into NXT or any. He's got a lot of good wrestling related content. So check him out. Much love to you, Tazzy. When it comes down to how to handle these things, I just want people to show Tanahashi the love. He's going to be moving slow. In New Japan, when you see Kojima and them, we're going to talk about him momentarily too. These dudes get put in the 8-man tags all the time. People want to see them, but they don't want to see them wrestle long periods of time. So they can still take the bumps, but they don't want to see it happen.
Right.
MJF did his classic stuff. He cheated to win. Yeah, it happened. I thought the Sting, Darby, and Naito, Jericho, Sammy, and Minoru Suzuki match was just, I don't know. I don't know. How'd you feel about that one?
It was all right. It was. I don't know. But I don't know is the right way to put it.
I thought that him trying to move off that table, Sting couldn't move. If you guys saw him and Sammy went through the table, and Sting got up and Sammy didn't.
You know, I love Sting. We all love Sting. I just don't want the brother to get hurt, man. Like, he's getting older. Like, he is old. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that to be disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's in that same boat, man. When he's ready to hang him up, Tony's probably going to tell him, like, hey, it's your call when you want to do it. He thought Wembley's not the time, he said in that media scrum, but we got to be getting close, right?
Oh, you would imagine. I mean, and at some point, the decision is going to be taken out of his hands if, God forbid, he gets hurt.
Right. You're asking us to recite a promo, but can she talk enough to where she's not screeching, yelling, or popping? I assume that's.
I want Athena to be successful. I just think the charisma's lacking. I hear what you're saying, McKinney.
Right. It's all about the spot where you're gonna put them in. You could hear Aubrey yelling to tag Suzuki. I did not hear that when I was in there. Big boy Bob Sapp.
I did. Yep.
Guy Will Gamble. New Japan with the Inoki days is one of my guilty pleasures. You can ask Rob. I definitely used to watch it on YouTube. Like when I come home from work back in the day when I was in college and stuff. What are you doing right now? Why are you watching this big dude dance with like these Japanese songs playing? I'm like, oh, it's Bob Sapp. It's great. It's good stuff. It's funny. Let me see here. Plus, the turnbuckles in New Japan are different. Yes, if you notice the feet placement when wrestlers do things in New Japan, they have the boxing turnbuckle pads, which I love, by the way. I love the look of them because you can put great advertisements on them. But in America, you got the 3. I think it's nicer to jump off the ropes with that.
Very, very sharp assessment out of you, Sick. I agree with you. That's a major difference.
True. B-Boy says Sting's going to be in Buffalo this Saturday. I did not know that.
There you go.
Sting! Yeah. Dustin did not like the Sting match. That 6-man tag was okay at best with cool moments with Sting, Darby. Naito looked good in this too. Naito's been kind of free agenting it around, so good for him.
Freelance work.
That 4-way, we all knew the result. Orange had to win that. Garcia takes the pin. I think Garcia and Shibata are leading to a match at that ROH pay-per-view. Zack Sabre Jr. still the TV dinner champion. I hate that brown strap on that belt. That's just me. It just looks bad. Do you like that championship?
I don't like the championship, but I like him. I think he's one of the top 10 wrestlers in the world.
Oh no, he's technically great.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
The belt leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I just don't like brown straps on the belts. That's just
I feel you.
I
don't like the North American belt in WWE.
Really? See, that one I don't mind.
Oh, okay.
We may have to do a belt show one day and just talk about the looks of the belts and get into why we like what we like. Now, let's talk about the main event.
No, not yet. Not yet.
CM Punk versus Kojima, which should have been the main event. And I'm kidding. I'm capping 100%. Let me stop.
Oh my God.
This match was.
You had me going on that one.
I can't believe this Kenta match didn't happen. Like, what foolishness stopped this from going on? I heard it was Punk one week, then I heard it was Kenta the next. I don't know. Whatever. You had the chance to do your match, Kenta. I don't want to hear you talk about it no more. Rob, stop hating on Sting, bro.
Yeah, who doesn't like Sting? Good grief.
Rob never has, even as kid.
Wow,
yeah.
Rob, I'm surprised. Okay.
Yeah. Dustin dropping booze too. Garcia with that dance and the fist up is fun. I love that dance. Garcia should always do that dance, by the way.
Who's starting to grow on me? Oh my God. You know who's really starting to grow on me? The Gun Club. I'm starting to like them. I don't know why or how, but like the entrance is dope and like they're starting to get better.
They've been better, bro.
Yeah, man.
Someone said Kenta didn't want the smoke. I don't know. Maybe Punk didn't want it. I don't know what's the deal with that. Guy Will Gamble, I appreciate you. Probably Kenta didn't want to put him over. No, he probably wanted big money to do it. Is what happens with the best part of the Punk match was hearing him get booed out of the building.
Wow.
It was very sad to hear that because I told everybody around me, why are you booing me? Why are you booing him? He's right. I'm like, who's here for Colt Cabana? I would definitely antagonize a lot of people in the crowd. Like I said, it was my moment. They saw me wearing a Punk shirt. They knew I was going to be looking at them like, okay. And I was like, you like Stone Cold? Yeah, I love him. And I was like, he punched his boss in the face too. they were like, I was just making a point, man. I don't know. Xavier, what's good, Xavier? He said the Many Men entrance put the Gun Club over for sure. A lot of people like that. They were asking about that yesterday.
Awesome, Xavier. I agree. And they've kept the momentum going. And that little Triple H spray thing that they do with the guns, with the lights, the fog machine behind, like that's pro wrestling right there. When I mean pro, that's the art of it. I mean, that entrance is crazy good, bro. Like that, and I watched that entrance like 10 times. I was like, that was. One brother was doing the old school Bart Gunn swag, and then the other one was doing Billy Gunn with the, and they're both doing the suck it in the ring.
The Gun Club are the funniest group. They look like their father and have all of his athleticism, but they love being Shawn Michaels with the old tights from '92.
Yeah,
they love with the little leather jackets.
But I'm serious, Conrad. That is you talk about clean. That entrance is clean, and they're starting to do well in the ring too.
Oh no, they've been great.
Yeah.
Like I said, look at the. Listen, I'm going to say this one time, Sean. This is a little insider knowledge. Pay attention to who people are putting over. CM Punk and them ain't just putting over Jay White and them for no reason. Mm-hmm. They think highly of them. CM Punk's not going to be like, yeah, I'll lose to new guy Conrad coming in. He wouldn't do that. He wants to see my heart. He wants to see what I got first. And they know to put over Bullet Club Gold now that they're in, that's what you got to do for them. And I did not boo CM Punk for the record, Dustin. I see what you wrote in there.
Another quick for the record, I think the Gun Club should join Bullet Club Gold.
They're in, I think.
Are they officially in?
Did you watch the end of Collision? Very last thing you see?
Yeah, but I didn't know if it was...
They put the hands up like this, where they do the Bang Bang Gang or whatever, him and Juice, and then Bullet Club, the Gun Club came up and did it too. Okay. I'm like, just give them the shirts.
Maybe that, you know what? That's exactly what. You give them a shirt, then exactly.
Then you'll know they're in. But you need that confirmation too. I've been saying the same thing for weeks. Also, you know who the next member should be? Mm-hmm. Big Bill. They need some heavy muscle. I want Big Bill there. Make it happen. The booing helped add to a good match. CM Punk played into the boos very well. I'll say very Rock-esque of WrestleMania 18. I think I like when someone can play into, like, if he's cheer, I'm the baby face. It's like Brett when he was when they were doing the Montreal thing with him and Shawn. Like, when we're in Canada, Brett's a face. When we're not, he's a heel. And Punk played into it. He even did the Hogan leg drop. He was cupping the ear on his way out to hear the boos. I don't know. What'd you think, Sean?
Look, CM Punk, dude knows how to work it. You feel me? Like, that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? That crowd reaction, we're talking about the Punk crowd reaction, right? That crowd reaction and his reaction to it is what makes CM Punk great. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. I am not anti-CM Punk. I'm not. I just think the brother needs to grow up a little bit. But when he's on, he is one of the best in the world. And when he's on, he is ultra charismatic and great and awesome. Last night was exactly what makes CM Punk, even when he pinned him and he's looking directly in the camera. I mean, it's great. He knows how to work it. I love the guy. I just want him, Dustin saying I'm lying. Okay. At the end of the day, just be a grown-up. Like, when somebody pisses you off, realize that you're above that. I've said that before. But at the end of the day, bro, I love CM Punk, and especially what he did last night. Last night was what makes CM Punk great.
The funny thing to me with the Punk stuff, and I'll say this, I want y'all to just keep watching the little things. I'm going to bring up something in a match that a lot of people like that they're probably going to get mad at me for, but it goes to show sometimes that maybe he was right. I'll get more into that in a second. Sick, I appreciate what you said, too, about the Kenta thing, about, like, you don't want to hear any more from him after he started talking about, I want the bag. Like, get out of here, Kenta. You can't be making demands like that, bro. But in my mind, Kenta goes over in that match. Respect to the creator of the most popular wrestling move in wrestling. Touche. They probably could. Sting was always the dumbest babyface every other time. Wow. Anytime you get behind him, he would let someone in with a history of betrayal. Yeah, he did join the Horsemen twice.
That was dumb. He should have never. Yeah, that was. Yeah. That was dumb. I'll give you that.
CM Punk and Kojima was a very good, hard-hitting match. Quill says CM Punk getting booed out of the building and he could care less. I should watch more Kojima matches. This was so good. Go watch the old school Kojima matches, Quills. You got to find the early 2000 stuff. Someone said you hate that mofo. I don't know if you're talking about me or you.
No, I'm saying I hate CM Punk. I don't hate CM Punk. I think
Dustin's trolling you a little with his LOL.
I know. CM Punk, I've said it before, I'll say it. CM Punk needs to just be a grown man. And as long as he's acting like a grown man, which he typically does, but sometimes he lets people ruffle his feathers.
Sean, I want you to remember, though, some of the parts that you're going to say. Watch what he said. Listen, right. Remember what he said, and then think about it with the other guys when you see the stuff they do.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm going to show it again tonight because people are going to be like, oh, what do you mean by that? How could you say that? But I thought this was a good match. Oh, and the Kojima thing, the whole lariat, Kojima. Quick story. Gabe Sapolsky, Booker of Ring of Honor now. He was Evolved. Now he's with WWE. He's one of Triple H's right-hand men. CM Punk pulled a prank one time. Samoa Joe, he tells this in a shoot interview. The prank was he was going to be Homicide. He could do a good Homicide voice. Mm-hmm. And he said, I got to leave Ring of Honor. And he was like, what do you mean you got to leave Ring of Honor? I'm in the car with Joe. I just can't do it. It's not working anymore for me. Japan called. There's a lot of money. I want to wrestle Kojima and Lariat. He said this like 5 times. This dude paid no attention to what he was saying. A Kojima and some Lariats. And he kept saying it. And someone found the clip and they posted it, and it started spreading around. And CM Punk's in the match. And he hits Kojima. He's like, Lariat, Kojima. So it was an inside joke. Gabe Sapolsky literally thought he was about to lose Homicide, and then Punk was like, yeah, just call Punk back on his phone when you're done. And he was like, you played a prank on me. I thought this dude was going to Japan. I'm about to lose my mind. He was like offering him whatever to stay. He's like, please stay. I need you to stay on this Ring of Honor brand. We need you. I'll do whatever. He was like, I had him, bro. I had him. Joe was just cracking up next to him. So that was the whole Lariat. So if you ever hear me say that, that's the inside joke on it. You can look up the whole interview too. It's online. Moving forward, looks like people want us to talk about Punk 1, obviously. That was the right call for this. Punk versus Joe seems to be the next matchup, is my guess. We'll see what happens with him at Rock. We'll talk about that once it's time.
Yes.
You want to do the Elite match next? Or
I do not. I want to talk about Hollywood, Jack, by God, Perry. Look, we all knew, at least I'll speak for myself and Conrad. I think I'm safe for these people. We all knew Jungle Boy was not going to become the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, we knew that, right? But what was the only thing, which, by the way, I didn't see coming last night. I've seen it coming for months, but I didn't know it was going to happen last night. What did we need to see that would make this match worth watching? And that's...
I agree, McKinney. I just thought he made a great point there.
Agreed. That's a good point, McKinney. What did we need to see? We needed to see something that would make us remember the match. Because honestly, the match was somewhat forgettable, if you ask me. I don't know how you feel about it. It was somewhat forgettable. I didn't think it was that great of a... That was somewhat generic to me. At the end of the day, man, this is it. Jack Perry, you want to be a star? You want to be taken seriously? This is what we're looking for.
So I'm going to ask you a question, Sean. How did it come off on TV?
Get a haircut, get some sunglasses, and let's start being Hollywood, and let's start turning it up a little bit. Let's get serious.
Sean, how did it come off to you, his loss on TV? I feel like he got dog walked. That's what it looked like to us.
He did get dog walked.
He got hit with that Shining Wizard. Great. So Sonata is Great Muda's like protege. For those who don't know, that's why he won with the Shining Wizard, then the Moonsault after. That wasn't his finisher. That's like his signature moves that he likes to use. He dog walked Jungle Boy and left like, yeah, you ain't nothing. I told you didn't deserve this title shot. That's how we felt. I was like, dang.
Well, you know what the sad part is? Because of the momentum or lack thereof that Jungle Boy has had, when he accepted the open challenge, my reaction was kind of like, I wish it was somebody else. I wanted it to be Adam Cole, honestly.
I knew this was going to be a storytelling point, though, for it.
Yeah.
So, what up, E? I see you in the chat. And Grill Master, I see you guys. You guys are cracking me up in here. So, with Jungle Boy losing, as soon as him and Hook reached around each other. Check the YouTube Shorts page. I put this up. I'm hoping AEW doesn't strike me for anything else. I got one strike last night on Twitter, which was crazy to me. Yeah, no music or nothing. It was a promo. And I was like, why am I getting a strike for this? Nobody else is going to see this because the pay-per-view was over, but whatever.
I like that quote by Sir Quills. Now we're going to see what happens. This is it. This is it, Jack Perry. This is your moment. You got to make it or break it right here.
Don't let Luchasaurus outshine you is how I'm feeling. When he walked up that ramp and clothesline hook, so I can't hear what Taz is saying, but I saw Taz take the glasses off and he looked serious after.
Well, Taz said a bad word. He cussed on the air.
Ooh.
He cussed on the S word,
That's his son, though.
Yeah, he cussed on the air and he said, I'm not going to get into this, but just know when the fans were chanting, you effed up, he was like, he really did F up. And he was like, holy S. And it was basically a situation where the father was kind of like trying to let Hook be a man, but also saying like, he's my son, but I'm going to let Hook handle it.
They're in a weird position with this too, because you've got Hook who's never lost, and now you've got Jack Perry who's brand new. Is Jack Perry going to hand Hook his first loss? I think you kind of have to do it that way.
I think Jack Perry's going to be the next FTW champion.
Ooh, okay. And maybe he gets rid of it. That'll get him some heat.
And that is not something, by the way, Conrad, that I'm happy about. Just a FYI.
I'm curious to see how they go with this. You can go a couple different routes. I'm real curious with this storyline, and I like what you said with the new hair, the new look. I like that.
Haircut, grow maybe a little 5 o'clock shadow, throw on some sunglasses, and remind the world that you are, for some people who used to watch that show, you are the son of television royalty, and you need to start reminding people, hey, listen, I'm Jack Perry. I'm better than you, not better than you and you know it, but I'm better than you. I'm tired of sitting up here seeing you idiots wave your hands back and forth to that ridiculous song. It wasn't my idea in the first place. Let's get to it, Jack. Let's do it. I'm cheering for the guy. I want it to work.
They told him shave them burns, get rid of the mutton chops. A lot of people were saying that. Jungle Boy got dissed before he even got pinned. Jungle who? Ooh, harsh. He needs to start rocking the Dylan leather coat. His pops, yes, from 90210. Yes.
Oh, let's get it, bro. Like he has Conrad. He has so much to work with.
He has potential. And like I said, the issue was the disrespect, I think, to Billy Gunn. Because people were like, oh, why'd they turn on him? I'm like, this isn't about the Punk stuff at all. Even though I didn't like what he did with that, like liking tweets and being, he's the Bucks friend. Like the Guns called him out for it too. So he's already been called out. But when you're with the upper echelon, when you're with the game, the clique, you don't get in trouble. So that's how it works, I guess. But my issue with Jungle Boy was when he said he doesn't listen to Billy Gunn about the Destroyers, and Billy Gunn's losing his mind backstage. Why don't you listen to Billy Gunn? He's been around a long time, and he's still relevant today. He gets it. He knows something.
He's with the Acclaim. The Acclaim couldn't be more over. Now his sons are starting to get over.
Even with Sting, anybody you put who's been in this business long enough, they're not there by accident. Even if you hate Punk, he ain't there by accident. They know something.
I have a theory.
Go ahead.
What if Jack Perry has learned from Christian? What if Jack Perry has seen the light, and as Luchasaurus inevitably starts to get angry with Christian taking the credit for the TNT Championship, perhaps Christian had in mind the whole time that Jack Perry was his guy. He just needed Jack Perry to grow up a little bit.
I hope Jurassic Express just don't become heels with Christian.
Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want them to get back together.
Okay. All right. I had to put my fears out real quick because some people were saying that too.
I want Christian to turn on Luchasaurus. When Luchasaurus, do we agree? Chat, let me know also, but Conrad, do you agree? Inevitably, when Luchasaurus gets tired of carrying Christian on his shoulders and Christian carrying around his belt, right? Then, maybe Jack Perry comes out and Christian says Jack Perry was my guy all along.
Could be. It could happen. It like I said, you've got different things you can do with this, and I'm interested to see where they go. Some are saying he should go solo for a while. Jack Perry as a heel, though, is going to be very interesting to watch. Yeah, let him. He was popping all that stuff at those other media things. Let him do what he's got to do. let's get
I'm
into.
not from the jungle. Do I look like somebody from the jungle? I'm better looking than all you freaking ugly people out there.
Look at you. They should give you the gimmick up here. Go into work, Sean.
Just saying.
The 10-man tag with the BCC and the Elite. This ain't the Punk stuff coming into this, but I noticed after the match that I was like, Punk was right about this. Why do we need to have blood and guts with them, Sean? The Elite have beat them twice now, back to back. What is the BCC fighting for? Why did you have Wheeler Yuta pin Kenny to only eat 2 pins later? What are you doing? What are you trying to tell us with this? And I feel like this is that mentality getting in the way of proper storytelling. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're a fan of Halloween. Everybody knows who Michael Myers is, right? If Michael Myers got beat up twice, back to back in the opening scenes, are you going to want to see him at the end? Like, would you have any fear of him actually, like, oh man, he's going to get away with this? You got to make the monster. What's the quote? Sorry, this is a Cornette quote too. King Kong got a couple villagers, you know? You gotta do something so that the heels are believable in these situations. Right. And I think that's important. The story with Kingston, I don't know how well that came across with this double super kick. I know that happened in their previous match where it was like reverse, where I think Moxley saved him from getting the super kicks. I don't know how all this came apart, but a lot of people seem like they liked the match. Someone tell me. How did you feel about the 10-man?
You're saying you think it was too much blood and guts, things like that?
No. I think that they're missing out on telling a better story. BCC should have won this. The Elite need to triumph over them because the story is they're amateurs, right? That's what this has all been about, allegedly, right? And now you have the opportunity to defeat them, and you don't. I don't get it. Like, to me, it's just very weird how they've structured this and how they've put it together. I'm like, why do we need another match then?
The Elite have been getting their butts kicked by the BCC for a while now, right?
Time out. I got to make another point before Guy Will Gamble gets away with this too long. Michael Myers lost in every movie, but he was a threat when you got to the end. That's what I'm saying. You need to be a threat when you get to the end of the movie.
You have to get to a point where somebody is the definitive winner of the feud. I don't think they're there yet. I think this is going to last all the way through All In. I don't have a problem with the winner. I don't have a problem with the result. I just think that they need to get to a point where we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my God! Please stop doing that.
Doing what?
Please! Oh my God! Oh my God! All right. So anyway, at the end of the right, no, yeah, we see your hands now. At the end of the really, is that really what we're doing right now, Conrad? I love it. Anyway, at the end of the day, we just need a definitive ending, and I think right now, here's an interesting take. BCC and the Elite are on top of their game, so it's kind of hard to differentiate who's on top anyway. I would say on television, the BCC has had most of the advantage. And I think this was their comeuppance. I don't think it's over, though. Is that what you're trying to say?
But they've lost 2 back-to-back. So why
they have, but every week. But to my point, every week BCC's beating up the Elite. Every week.
I need to see some more of it then because so Anarchy in the Arena, Yuta won, right? They got the pinfall. I think that's where Yuta beat Kenny. But they lost they lost a tag match on Dynamite. They lost this match now. You catch my drift? Like I'm like, okay, well, why does this match need to happen? I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they can make me interested in letting this match happen.
I think you shouldn't. I think there should be a little bit, just show a little bit more patience when it comes to this. This is not like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline.
No, but I just think it's basic storytelling 101 to where I'm just like, why would I care? I don't know. They're losing me a little bit on this. So I'm hoping they can get this on track. Maybe there'll be some dastardly act that happens on Dynamite that can win me over. I saw a lot of people praising this one. I just wasn't as into it. Like, it wasn't my match of the night or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was a match of the night, but I think you're downplaying it a little bit, bro. I think it was a good match.
I just thought they missed. I thought they missed an opportunity to tell a better story. And I think Claudio, he's the Ring of Honor World Champ. We're not going to do him better than that, Sean. Like,
do you think he deserves to be done better than that?
Yeah, he's the. If you want me to buy a pay-per-view to see him in the main event,
that's the problem. I don't think Ring of Honor has lived up to expectations. Honestly, don't get me started on Ring of Honor. I don't think ROH has lived up to expectations.
Man, yeah, that's
when you have three shows dedicated to AEW, and all three of those shows are, and I'm not talking about personal opinion, I'm talking about from a statistical standpoint, all three of those shows, Rampage, Dynamite, and Collision, are getting better numbers than your ROH show. That's a problem. If you are ROH to be considered a top show, I said it a long time ago. They should have dedicated one of these time slots to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor should have had a TV show on TNT. Period.
Yeah. I personally, I just don't. I don't understand why they did that. That's it. Jamie Lee Curtis won the feud. Yeah, but she got beat up in the movies though along the way. She wasn't just going in like that. That's my point. Conrad once again sprinkling the Punk plugs in. I'm just telling you, he said, you don't know what you're doing, guys. and I think sometimes when they do that, I'm like, you got to make people care. There's a simple way to do it where you can put all this, like, you want people not to know what's happening. Makes Takeshita look crazy too. Like, why did you join with these dudes? You're losing now. You know what I mean? And where was Don for him? Where was Don Callis for him?
Right.
There's just a lot of questions that I have with this.
To answer your question about the ROH champ, Claudio, he needs to be featured on television every week. And at the end of the day, Ring of Honor, look, the bottom line is this, bro. Ring of Honor is not on television. That's a problem. And I know we're talking about, you're saying, does the ROH champion deserve better? I think Ring of Honor deserves better. I think Ring of Honor is in a position to fail. Because you can't. Why does AEW have 3 shows? There is no reason that ROH should not have one time slot.
They could have the Rampage time slot. Truthfully,
matter of fact, it could have been ROH Collision. Like, I mean, whatever. Like,
no, if you really want a true brand separation, that's what I was saying. Wouldn't you be like, well, we have Ring of Honor. Why don't we put Ring of Honor on a 2-hour night and we could bring the titles over and we could have a real brand split?
That makes more sense than saying CM Punk's exclusive to Collision.
Which they haven't, though.
Yeah, the first night he had a chance to show up on Dynamite, he showed up. So
because why wouldn't Tony use all of his tools available to him when he has the chance? You know what I mean? To pop a rating or do whatever. Let's hold on, let me see. Did I get everything? Yeah. Yes. I think we're at the main. Let's get into this.
Just real quick nugget. MJF, little stale. He's starting to get a little stale. I like him. I just think MJF, he needs a little bit more sauce.
I think he just needs the right opponents for it.
Okay.
You gotta. If you can't jump, he'll make the match acceptable, but you got to jump up to his level on promos.
Okay, I like him. I like him a lot. I'm just saying, lately it's like, like
I think the problem is there's no contenders for him because you don't want that, right? Because well, I don't want him in there. Boo! Don't get me started on that.
Right.
But he's one of the only people who can hang with him. You need to get Kenny Omega to hang with him. You can't bring Danielson back in because he's turned heel now. You got to watch how you're doing this. And to me, you don't have any credible people to match up with MJF at this point. You got Hangman you could try to go to. You've got Adam Cole right now, but you got to be paying attention to who you're going to have face MJF. So be careful. Will ROH be on Max? I hope one day it will be. It needs to be where it's more accessible.
That's a good idea, Jocelyn. That's a good idea. Now we're cooking with gas, cooking with oil. But I mean, I don't know if that's the decision is going to be made, but that would be a good idea. That sounds like a good idea.
Well, that ain't up to AEW though.
Yeah, true.
That's Warner Discovery.
By the way, do you know what that means? Hashtag, you know what that means? T-shirt is out right now. Go get it.
Yes, TeePublic, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Type it in, you will get it, and we got the hashtag popping in the chat right now.
I gamble cop one. Appreciate you, guys.
Appreciate it. Let's talk about these two matches kind of quickly here. I won't delve too deep into them, but I wanted to talk really quickly here about the two mains. The Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match, dude, the most exhausted I've ever been watching a wrestling match. The energy and emotion put into it was so good. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it was so good, man.
There's really nothing else to say. It was the match of the year. I predicted it would be so, and it lived up to the billing. I'm so excited about what these two men did last night. I mean, they took what they did January 4th to a whole nother level. Last night was, it was the match of the year. It just doesn't get. If that's not the match of the, I have no doubt that when it's all said and done, PWI, whatever the voting system is, this will be match of the year. And Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega are amazing. I consider Will Ospreay to be the best in the world. But
Sean's been saying this for, I think, at least 2 years. I've been hearing you say this.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure, guys. It's such a pleasure to see two practitioners of this sport do what they did last night. It makes me emotional as a wrestling fan because I know what they put into it. We know, like I said, wrestling's not fake; it's predetermined. But for the drama and for the athleticism and everything that they put on the line last night, I take my hat off to both guys. Omega's amazing, and I just think Will Ospreay is the best wrestler alive.
That Misawa spot definitely hurt my neck. The Tiger Driver 91 on Kenny's head, I couldn't believe it. Both guys were bleeding during that match. Like I said, go back and watch it if you didn't see it. I normally, and I tell everyone this, I'm not joking, I have never watched WrestleMania 29 because I was there. I never watched Battleground because I was there. I usually don't go back and watch it. Rob told me we need to go back and watch this match. I don't know how, when we're going to have the time to, but he said we should go back and rewatch this match to see if it was as good. Because I love the match in the Tokyo Dome, and some people are saying that this match was better. I don't know how you feel, but it's going to be interesting when we do the end of the year polls, and I'm looking forward to seeing what people say is their match of the year. Because I totally disagreed this year with that Hell in a Cell pick with Cody and Seth. But this one here, this one's got to be in the contention, I think.
I just don't see anything being able to surpass it. 10 Mick Foley's can fall off of 10 Hell in a Cells in my mind. It wouldn't be as good. And I'm talking about that with such affection and respect as one of the greatest movements in this year wrestling.
And shout out to Donnie, who was with us. He said match of the year in his opinion.
No doubt. Shout out to Donnie. It was just, 10 Austin Rocks, 10 Mankind Undertakers, 10 HBK Bret Harts. It just, last night was one of the greatest matches of all time, much less 2023.
Yeah, it's a classic. Grill Match said, I'd like to see MJF put on a run and just wrestle people gauntlet style just to prove he's better. He could. He's beating people with headlock takeovers. Right. Omega versus Ospreay was hands down match of the night and will more likely be match of the year contender, if not match of the year, period. And that's due to their Wrestle Kingdom this year. Yeah, they put on 2 back-to-back bangers. Ospreay versus Kenny was a banger in the same calendar year. He puts the crown on him. He said that match could have been a 10 for me, but Don Callis spot turned me off. That was the one thing I didn't like about the match was that the referee told Don Callis, get to the back, and then Don Callis disrespected Paul Turner's order, and nothing was done about it. I don't. Do you feel like weird about officiating looking weak? That's another like soft point for me where I'm like, no, you can't. Don't do that then.
It's looking. I think AEW. I think AEW does a good job with the referees. I don't know. Wrestling.
AEW's real ECW with the rules. Like if you put someone through a table on the outside, it's okay, but if it's in the ring, no. It's real weird sometimes how they do it.
Right. It's subjective, but I think wrestling at its best is subjective, Conrad.
100%. Only if Don Callis, man, people are hot at Don. Actually, someone behind me had a Don Callis sign. So I love the Don Callis slander. And usually people comment in the chat on Dynamite Nights and on Clash of the Podcast about how they hate Don Callis. Don got me not switching back to Kenny. I thought it was coming.
Don Callis, to me, he bothers me.
He's good at his job.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, there's things about Paul Heyman, as annoying as he is, that I like. There was things about Bobby the Brain Heenan that I loved. I hate Don Callis' guts.
He gets it. He gets it. And I'm gonna let me finish this one off real quick. Bryan Danielson and Okada, they came out. We were so tired. By the way, during the Ospreay match, they flipped those lights on us, similar to this ring light here that you guys see all on my face. These lights are hot, and they were making us sweat. We were like, why are these lights on us now? And I felt like they were like, stay up, everybody. We got you. And we were trying to get into the match. I hope it wasn't too quiet, but we were drained from the Kenny Omega Ospreay match. I think they knew they did.
How could you not be?
Right, and Danielson even said that's why he did the points up for the yes to get us back into it. He's smart too. He knows what he's doing.
I guess the yeses are okay, huh?
I was surprised that he said he wasn't going to do that, but he felt
I was very surprised. I was like, is he doing it?
Yeah. So allegedly he has fractured his forearm, was it? Or his wrist? I can't remember. He fractured a bone on his arm, and Danielson's going to be out for a while. I told people, once again, I don't know if we're going to start hearing those he's injury-prone comments with this, but I feel bad for Danielson because I thought he had a great match. Sean, I'll tell you this. We were all sitting there talking, and we were like, all right, match is about to get real good, just like Kenny and Ospreay. They're about to really get into it. When Danielson locked that arms in, I was like, oh, this looks like a pretty bad hold. Then he started squeezing. I was like, oh, this looks really bad. How's he going to... I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me that he tapped out? I did not believe it. How did you feel?
Wonderful match with a somewhat anticlimactic ending. I did not see that coming. I don't think it ended the way it should have, but the injury probably played a part in that. That's how I look at it. I mean,
I think he said that the match changed because of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I mean, at the end of the day, how can you can't expect it not to change. That's a catastrophic injury, and that'll keep him out 6 months.
Dustin, I don't think he was faking anything with it. He was selling it probably. Maybe he was doing the Devon sell where you shake your leg and stuff like that. But I think he was in tremendous pain because you could see it because he pulled his arm back like, do not touch this arm for the rest of the match. And I just feel bad that Okada's last two Forbidden Door matches were riddled by injuries and stuff like that, causing them to be cut short, whatever it may be.
Injury and controversy.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one, though, I think this is leading to a rematch. That's just me.
Yeah, when Daniel Bryan gets healthy.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson.
Excuse
I
me.
do the same thing, bro. I swear to you. I said Billy Kay so many times when I was trying to talk about Billy Starks yesterday, and I had to keep catching myself. I was like, I meant that. Terrell, what's good, bro? He must be a little bit back behind us here. That 6-man tag drained the energy out of that building. Thanks, Stinger. Come on now. Fractured forearm, Matt says. Okada was literally right there. All he had to do was reach his foot up and touch the rope. Not when you're in that much pain, bro. Let someone put you in one of them arm holds like that. Let him do some jiu-jitsu on you. I thought it was great. As expected, it was another absolutely great match. Unexpected finish. Yeah, they got me with the shock on it. Overall, though, I enjoyed the show. If you get a chance to go to an AEW pay-per-view show, if you're traveling, do it. Take a chance. It was a lot of fun.
So
Toronto was a lot of fun. Huh?
What would you grade the show?
For an overall standpoint, I say an A. I had a lot of fun.
You know me. I'm a very tough grader. A. That was freaking. Oh, Dustin, 6 out of 10. Good God.
Boo this man, chat. Boo this man, Dustin.
6 out of 10. That's a fail. That's a fail on a test in high school, dude.
Yeah.
6
and that's public school fail.
Jeez. I thought the show was excellent, dude. Like, it would have been an A+ if it wasn't for the Okada finish.
I don't even think the Okada finish hurt it. I just think it was an A, and that's just me being tough. Like some of the matches weren't all that; they were good, but you know what I mean. To me, there was nothing you could really complain about. I thought every match was good, and when we're complaining about like Jericho's match being the worst thing on the card, that's what I felt was the weakest match personally, and it was because of the age. And I'm like, I can't really hate on that though. So there was nothing below a 3-star match in the Meltzer level of things.
Agree. And what I strongly consider again to be the greatest match in the history. Well, that's the greatest match, the best match of the year.
Get out of here. He said still a pass in Oakland. Get out of here. Forbidden Door for me was 9 out of 10. Quill giving high praise. I give it an A-.
Look, I'm not going to give anything an A+ unless it's like WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 17. But like it was an A.
NXT Takeover New Orleans.
Yeah, that was a good show.
I had to go back and give that one an A+. I remember I said A, and then I was like, I've never went back and regraded something, but I
wasn't
did that.
When? Am I mistaken? Wasn't that when the Undisputed Era got Roderick Strong?
Yep, and they got Gargano and Ciampa, one of my favorite feuds, nice. Top 5 WWE feuds I've always said, or like storylines they wrote out that I thought was really good that I wish got the proper finish to it. Let's get into some Money in the Bank, shall we? Conrad emailed me so we can set up a match on Forbidden Door. On Fight Forever. Dustin, I got to see some footage of what you're doing. You need to tag me. I want to see if you're good. You're talking a lot of trash, bro.
What system do you have, Conrad?
PS5. You're going up against the best, though. So I need to see something before I just don't accept challenges. There's no open challenges here with me. You need to show me why you deserve to go up against me.
I was going to ask if I could rock out with you, but I'm old. I got a PS4.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I don't think it crosses over that way.
No, it does. I think it's a free crossover for people. Did you buy it digitally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a free crossover.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Shout out to AEW for that. Forbidden Door was fun. I just wasn't invested in anything. Great matches though. Don't you not like New Japan? See, I gotta start asking people who are saying the show is not good. Do you watch New Japan? Because you might not get some of the stuff too that's happening. That's why I love New Japan, so I'm invested in it. But let's switch gears real quick. Let's talk Money in the Bank. We talked AEW for hours.
Let's take a step down.
Wait a minute, I gotta go back to you. How could you say this? This is Money in the Bank, one of the big five.
What do we just? Take the thing down for a second, bro.
You're in control.
No,
we gotta keep the illusion there, folks.
So here's the thing. What were we just talking about? We were talking about Forbidden Door, right? AEW in Japan, right? We both agreed, and most of the chat agreed it was an A show, right? Now we're taking a step down. I'm not saying anything to be facetious or to be mean or nasty. Let's take a step down. Like, it is what it is. Like, we're not saying anything that's wrong. Like, it's time to, it's like when the party's about to come to a close. Let's slow it down a bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like after your favorite song gets played, now you play something that's kind of, it's not top 5 anymore. Now we're stepping down in caliber a little bit. Okay, we talked about Forbidden Door. Now it's time to talk about Money in the Bank.
Man, a lot of people in the chat are agreeing with you. I was just giving Sean a hard time.
Let's take a step down. Let's take a breather, guys. Let's take a breather.
All right, I don't even know if we should start with Money in the Bank. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get these out the way. Is this gonna be quick, Sean? You have a lot to say about
it's gonna be quick because I don't think there's anything much to talk about, my brother.
Money in the Bank's coming up. It looks like Logan Paul. I don't know how you just get added to a random Money in the Bank, but apparently Logan Paul knows. He's in Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, L.A. Knight. Give it to me.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. We got LWO, Santos Escobar, Butch. Why haven't we changed this name?
What was that?
Why haven't we changed this man's name to Pete Dunne? Stop calling this dude Butch. It sucks. All right?
And it's really bad. Really easy to manipulate into a derogatory word if you wanted to. All you gotta do is change one letter.
to botch. Well, I don't know what you want to call this dude. Give him. Pete Dunne is a great freaking wrestler. I think he would just mean so much more away from this group and let him be himself. Pete Dunne is better than Butch.
You know what? Not to cut you off, bro. I think we realized what this segment of the show is called. We just got from I said, let's take a step down. Maybe that was too harsh. You know what it's time for, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for the comedic portion of the show. Money in the Bank.
Wow. And Damian Priest is in there as well. Sean, who do you like in this one? Like,
I want to elaborate a little bit more, if you don't mind. I just need less than 5. You can bring the thing up. Let's talk about, when I say comedic portion of the show, let's talk about comedy, right? Let's talk about Logan Paul, who shouldn't be in the match in the first place. Let's talk about Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, who they've turned into a jobber. Let's talk about Santos, who nobody thinks he's going to win this match. Let's talk about Ricochet, one of the most athletic professional wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring, who's been relegated to being nothing more than the ring announcer's boyfriend. Then you have Butch, enough said. Then you have Damian Priest, not bad, but not going to win this match. And then you have LA Knight, who should win, but because WWE's stupid, it'll probably be Logan Paul. And by the way, out of these 7 people, we all know who should win this match, LA Knight. But that would be a good idea. And you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, your next Money in the Bank winner, Logan Paul.
Copy that. I mean, Big Hub ain't wrong. Temperature's about to cool way down. Potty break discussion topic incoming.
Don't leave the show. No potty breaks. Keep logged in. I'm just trying to say at the end of the day, well, as far as subject matters, let's take. It's like when you work out for 2 hours and you're ready for the cool down session. This is the cool down session. I mean, Logan Paul's in Money in the Bank. How can you get excited about that? Butch is in Money in the Bank.
Look at this. People are saying they're skipping Money in the Bank. Rephrase, I won't watch it live. 9 a.m. shows on a Saturday ain't for me. I hear you. That's West Coast time for you then. LA Knight.
It's like keep talking. It's like smoothing it out. I'm playing some trying to smooth it out.
Time out. There is no Butch slander. What I'm sick of is Butch the name. The name Butch has to go. This is not helping this young man at all. At all. Pete Dunne is better than this. This is what I'm trying to tell everybody.
Oh, do me a favor. Keep going through the comments because I'm going to talk about Sick right now. Sick, I'm coming for you, my brother, and I mean that in the best. We are on the same page, Sick. When we get to your comment, keep going, Conrad.
Hold on. WWE PLEs, I see the correction, Rob. In my opinion, have been very least good so far this year. Maybe it's because their TV is so bad by the comparison. That's what I'm saying. When you drop the bar to the bottom, it's not hard to jump over the bar. And then you're like, here we go. Raise it up.
Absolutely. When it's terrible every week, average seems good.
And I'm sorry, let me clarify this for people who don't know. We're talking about WWE when we're just talking about creative from fan enjoyment. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Not how much money they make. I don't want to hear about the ratings.
That crap. They make money hand over fist. That's part of the problem. Maybe if they had some financial difficulty, it would light some fire under their complacent butts.
I'll even take Pete at this point, just not Butch. Telling you, bro, it's so bad. At this point, call Butch the Butcher. That they won't do that. Mm-hmm. Logan Paul did explain he used his sway, cachet, influence status. Where's Bad Bunny then? Get this garbage out of here. If you're gonna wrestle. Man, if Logan Paul wins this, man.
Let's stop right here. Let's stop. Sick. I was waiting for Conrad to come to your comment. This is what I want you to understand, Sick. This is what I want Gamble to understand, and Leezy for Sheezy, Quills, Terrell, Gamble, McKinney, everybody. If you think that Logan Paul winning this match makes no sense, you better get your mind wrapped around it. Because I'm telling you something, Conrad, I'm looking right in your face, brother. If you think that it's beyond the realm of possibility that Logan Paul will stumble his clunky ass into Money in the Bank and win, you are very much mistaken. We all know, anybody who watches wrestling knows that there's only one person who should win this match, and that is LA Knight. But we also need to understand that this is the World Wrestling Entertainment. And when World Wrestling Entertainment is presented, this is for you, Gamble, this is for you, McKinney, this is for you, Quills. When WWE is presented with a good idea, you know what that means. Conrad, your thoughts?
Vinny, thank you for being in the chat. Vinny said the way Logan Paul said, I don't even know who you are to Butch, made him look like a chump. I hope Butch smacks this dude so hard. Listen, Logan Paul is leaping over people who have worked hard in this.
Comment on what I said, bro, please. I want your take on it too, because maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not. I'm tired of this. It's not out of the realm of possibility. That's why, listen, we're going to go through this. Let's do our predictions.
Yes, let's do it.
That's the key. Chat, tell me who wins this briefcase in your opinion. Who is I want your pick, and I want your dark horse pick.
My pick is Logan Paul because WWE's stupid. I hope LA Knight wins, but my pick is Logan Paul.
And the dark horse pick, who's your just backup?
Oh, the dark horse pick is going to be Damian Priest.
Really? Okay, I'm going to go opposite of you. I'm going to take LA Knight to be the winner. I think they're going to give it to him.
I hope so.
I don't see Roman Reigns being cashed in on with this group here. And my backup pick is Shinsuke Nakamura. My dark horse pick.
Oh, well, you see, this is where me and you are going to have a problem, my brother. You know, I love
dark horse means like they're going to do something to shock you. Just
those picks are not real. Let me tell you something, bro. I respect you infinitely. You know that. You really think they would give the nod to Shinsuke? I would love that. Do you really think they're going to give Shinsuke a chance? Really? After the way they misused him?
LA Knight's my official pick.
No, I heard what you said.
I think LA Knight wins this. I think he's going to end up cashing in on the Raw brand if he does. He ain't doing it on Roman. I will assure all of you, if he comes out and he says, Roman, I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank, yeah.
A lot of people are agreeing with you, Conrad. A lot of people are saying, I haven't seen a lot of Logan Pauls up here. I'm saying Logan Paul because do you, Conrad, do you understand why I'm picking Logan Paul to win this match?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not picking Logan Paul because I want LA Knight to win.
So when I say dark horse pick, let me clarify that, I guess, for the next one. Dark horse means like they're just going to do this just because to fool you. Oh. Like this is just the shot in the dark. I'll give it to them because no one's going to see this coming.
Okay.
I'd rather Bad Bunny come back and win. That show in Puerto Rico was lit when his entrance was fire.
Bad Bunny deserves it more than Logan Paul.
That's a fact lately. But the story is, if Logan wins it, I could see them having him cash in quickly on Seth. More on that in a minute. Let's get to the women's Money in the Bank.
Oh, God. See, jeez. It's like every time you pull up a graphic, I get more depressed.
We have Becky Lynch, Bayley,
Yawn.
Guy, Zoe Starks, and Zelina Vega. Who is your pick for this one, Sean? I'll let you know for this. My prediction is Io Sky is going to win. And my backup pick is Zelina Vega. You cut this out.
I'm sorry. Were we talking about professional wrestling here? Io wins, but that would be a good idea. So you know what that means. It's probably going to be somebody like. I don't think Becky will win. Like, you know what? My pick is Io, and my stupid WWE pick would be Starks.
Okay. I've heard somebody try to say that they could do something with Trish. Here's the match that's been, 7 years in the making for the rematch, I guess.
And by the way, to show that I'm not being unfair, I'll stay awake for this. I was snoring at the last one. I'll stay awake from this match. This match will be watchable.
I think Seth and Finn will crush it, but we all know what the result is. Seth Rollins wins, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna be serious because this is a match that I actually am taking serious. I'm not gonna snore on this one. Match of the night, undoubtedly. It would be great if Finn won. I love Seth, but I also love what's best for business as well. And I think Finn winning would be awesome. But Seth is gonna win. Seth is gonna win.
Yeah, it's just there's way more stories with Seth, whether it's with Cody, with just Priest, whoever it may be, right? You could tell a better story with Seth, I think, than giving the belt to Finn. I think Finn's telling a story where he's going to get a new member in the Judgment Day eventually.
I have a quick question for you. Who does the kicking when somebody gets kicked out of Judgment Day? Is Damian Priest going to facilitate the kicking out of Finn Balor, or is Finn Balor going to facilitate the kicking out of Damian Priest?
I think Finn Balor is going to facilitate kicking out Damian Priest and having Jordan Devlin. Oh, what's his name now? I hate these name changes because Jordan Devlin will take his spot, though, is what I believe is going to end up happening.
I think, bro, why do they change the name? I understand when people come from the outside. LA Knight took some time to get into because he was Eli Drake. But the changes from going from NXT to WWE, I don't understand. They're under the same umbrella. Why are you changing their name?
I got nothing. Seth wins. Logan cash. Oh no, please! That's the WWE thing, though.
Sweet God forbid! Oh my.
JD McDonough, thank you, Matt, or McDonald. At this point, I don't know. They got to be adding some more women to this, right? EO wins. I think that's it, McKinney. Like, I don't think they're adding anyone else to that match because they've had weeks to do that. We all know Rollins will retain, but me being a Finn Balor fan to the core, I'm going to go with Finn to dethrone Seth. I don't see it, but I respect the loyalty. Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm going to take Dominic for the dub by interference of Brock Lesnar because that's what we do.
We're on the same page, but not with the same result. I think that Brock Lesnar interferes, but I think it costs Cody Rhodes just physically, not the match. It's going to cost Dominic the match because it's going to lead to Cody winning by disqualification.
I respect it. And the main event.
Oh baby, now, I'll stay away for this because I love the bloodline. Well, I don't love what they've done with it, but this is important to me how they do this match.
Let's lay it out, Sean. You're the mastermind behind this, so I'm gonna throw this to you. What do you want to see happen here?
Well, they've botched it pretty badly over the past few months. We've come full circle. It's not the way I would have gotten us to that doorstep. To me, there's only one way to do this, and that's for the Usos to win by pinning Solo Sikoa. It just has to be done in a way that leads to this has to lead to a one-on-one match for Jimmy or Jay at SummerSlam. And I don't see Jimmy or Jay getting a title shot if they do anything but win this match. I mean, this has to be the Usos' crowning moment in this feud. They have to win this match, right? So I'm saying that the Usos win. I'm saying that the winner of the match, meaning the winner of the fall, be it Jimmy or Jay, for sentimental reasons, I want it to be Jay. Whoever gets the pinfall on Solo will get the title shot at SummerSlam. Man, I just wish they did this 4 months ago, but I'm not going to get up on my soapbox again. Everybody knows how I feel about that. We are where we are. And as it's currently constituted, as the Bloodline storyline is currently constituted, I would like to see Jay get the pinfall on Solo, and that's going to be my prediction.
I'm going to be the weirdo one, I think, here. Sean, I don't know if I should say this or do this, but
talk to me, bro.
I'm going to put an idea out there for this. I think the Usos will win this match. They are going to pin Solo, but Solo is going to have to lose faith in Roman for this. In this match, Jimmy probably it doesn't matter who gets the pinfall, I guess, at the end of the day. I think Roman makes a very bad calculated mistake against Solo. Solo loses trust, and at SummerSlam, you guys are going to get a 4-way for the title.
No, I'm gonna let you finish, but no, go ahead, please.
I'm just telling you. I think they might.
My microphone, brother. Go ahead.
I think they might do something bad like that, and they might go that direction. And will it be bad? Depends on how you execute it. But I could see them having Solo in there, Roman in there. They're all mad at each other, and like I said, this is how you lead back to the.
And I'm not cutting you. I'm not cutting you. I'm just interjecting. So a problem between Jimmy and Jay?
Not enough to where this is how maybe Roman could split them. Well, they both have earned a shot. They both have gotten big pinfall victories recently. You can even have it in the build-up.
Okay.
And then it could be, well, they're all deserving of a shot. And you know what? To add Solo in there, why not? Like Solo can go on a path of just destroying Sheamus and all these other guys on SmackDown. They've been building this up for that.
Yeah.
Why not do that then? Why not just have it be a 4-way? But I think this is also how we're going to get the ha 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 ha. We're united when you don't expect it. When you think Roman's in trouble after this, that's my point to it, where I'm like, ugh. Because then I think Jey Uso eats the pinfall in the 4-way. He loses. They kind of go away. Now you're like, well, Roman's on his own. What's he going to do? Everyone stays away until we're all back together. You know what I mean?
Is there any chance that a laying in the weeds, and I mean this in a positive way, even though laying in the weeds is typically not a good thing to say, is there any way a laying in the weeds Sami Zayn and the Usos reunite?
You could, if you want to tease the babyface. See, I think this is all fodder, though. I've been saying this since day one, Sean. This all is going to lead to nothing. All this time that we're talking about this, remember, a big round ball of nothing, just like it was with Jey Uso and Sami. Who are you going to unite with? And then by Mania, he was back with Roman because it was a big ball of nothing.
Let me ask you a question, Conrad.
And I didn't say nothing. It's part of the story, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
everything you're saying makes all the sense in the world. You out of the 100 things you say, 99 are right on the money. So here we go. Let me ask you a question I don't think I've ever asked you before. Like, I've never actually given you this actual question before. My dream of Jey Uso, and at this point, if it was Jimmy, it wouldn't bother me either. My dream of one of the Usos dethroning Roman Reigns. It's a 2-part question. Part 1 of that question is, do you see that happening? Okay, I figured you'd say that, and unfortunately, I agree. So part 2 of that question is, if one of the Usos in a dream scenario cannot dethrone Roman Reigns, then what is the point? That's my question.
So I said no to the first one. I forgot.
You did say no, and I agree.
People can't hear the beat in my head shake around, so they didn't hear me. So I said no to that one. But the reason I think they're doing this is Roman doesn't have any believable challengers except for his family at this point. Chat, somebody name me a believable challenger that's not Cody, that's not Sammy, that's not
somebody
Kevin.
might say that a returning Drew McIntyre, but he's not going to win.
But you don't want to beat him anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because you're beating some of these guys like a drum, and that's why Drew's gone, because he's like, stop beating me. Give me something to do. Well, what do you want to do? That's your job. You're the creative, not me.
I'm going to ask you this question again in a slightly different way, because I'm looking for something different from you. Not a different answer, but just a different...
Can we... Vinny asked a question. I just don't want to get too deep in the weeds. Vinny says, Vinny says, could you see Roman Reigns facing Jimmy and MSG for the SmackDown title and then face Jay at SummerSlam?
I don't think they're going to split the titles. I would love that, Vinny, but I don't think it's going to go down that way. But I like the way you're thinking.
I hope I read that right, Vinny. Thank you for asking us a question, though. Might have to do a Q&A soon. Me and Sean haven't done one in a minute, but we might have to get in that. As the bloodline turns, add dramatic music here. Usos win, but Jimmy gets hurt, and Jay will step in and become main event Jey Uso in his own way.
We don't want any injuries, big dog.
Or, well, I think he means kayfabe.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Back to you, though, Sean, with what you're throwing out there.
Okay, part 2 question remixed. We all know that Roman Reigns is not going to lose to one of the Usos, which I still think is a tragedy because I think Jay or Jimmy defeating Roman Reigns.
I told you why, though, and I'll say it one more time for people who don't know. I don't think WWE trusts them with out-of-ring activities that have happened.
Fair enough. I think Jimmy or Jay not winning the world championship from their cousin is a tragedy from a storyline perspective because I think it would blow the roof off of whatever building they were in, right? But since we realized that's probably never going to happen, and I asked the question, so what is this all for? You answered that question. Slightly different question. If it's for it to all come full circle and it's because they don't have any opponents, are we saying that Jimmy and or Jay will always be a tag team? And I don't mean like always be a tag team as in they'll never break up, because I don't want them to break up. But I also want them to be Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. I want to see intercontinental titles. I want to see United States championships. I want to see them be a team, but I want them to be successful. I want to see one of them go and win the world title if it's not necessarily Roman Reigns' belt. I have been an advocate of Jey Uso since November of 2022. We stand here 8 months later. Will Jimmy or Jay ever ascend to singles championship levels?
You're asking me again? I don't think so.
That's a shame. I see why that's really a shame.
And it's not. I told you why I think what influences it.
No,
if they can stay out of trouble for a long time, maybe, but not soon. No. I think they're in the spot they're in because of Roman and relying upon each other. And Roman's like, "Don't screw this up for me. I got you a good spot right now, but you got to do what I tell you to." You know what I mean? It's like Godfather stuff. Like, I got you in here. Don't make me have to take you out.
I'm gonna see this again, Conrad, and I'm gonna leave it alone. And your reasoning makes a lot of sense. Your real life reasoning makes a lot of sense. And I'm gonna say this to the chat. You can agree or disagree. I think WWE botched Jey Uso, and I think this not playing out the way I wanted it to play out. And I'm not just saying that for selfish reasons. I'm saying it because I do think it was, not to use, no pun intended, best for business. I think the fact that we're never going to see Jey Uso take down the tribal chief and become undisputed champion is one of the biggest tragedies in storyline wrestling history. I know that sounds like a huge stretch, but the way this storyline, Conrad, played out over the past year, 2 years, 3 years, and to not have this natural, that's the key here, brother, natural turn of fortune where 2-3 years ago he tried to beat him and he couldn't get it done, and Roman Reigns used his brother to make him say I quit, and then he became the right-hand man, and he became one half of the longest reigning tag team champions of all time, and he finally got sick of Roman Reigns and finally turned on Roman Reigns and defeated Roman Reigns to become the undisputed champion and new tribal chief. It's one of the biggest tragedies. Am I doing too much here, Conrad? Talk to me.
You're not wrong for how people have reacted to it, but I just don't see them doing it. I can't see them putting trust in, knowing that the old guard is there. How can you trust the guy who did this? This goes back to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Why did Hacksaw Jim Duggan lose his push?
Because he got in trouble. He got in trouble.
And they never trusted him again. I don't care if it was 88, 90, 92, 94 even, right? Was he around 94? Yeah. But
and just like, you know what? I'm going to contradict myself. Hacksaw became the king and Jey Uso won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So it's kind of like,
right. It leads you right to what you're thinking with it. Sick. I want to read Sick's comment here. I saw a tweet the other day where someone asked, how cool would it be if everyone turned against Roman and then when it's all over, God becomes the newest members of the bloodline. Gorillas of Destiny from New Japan he's referring to. Tama Tonga and his brother And I mean, they could do something like that. I've even heard people mention the name Jacob Fatu and Lance Anoa'i. I mean, they're great. I think Jacob would not be. I heard there's something on his record that WWE doesn't want to touch. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something physical. I don't know if it's something judicial. I don't know what happened, but he should be in WWE. He's amazing. He's amazing, but something's stopping them from picking him up. There's ideas there.
I'm gonna let you finish because I'm not done with this, but I want to give it some historical context.
That's fine. I don't even know if we're gonna have time for our last segment, truthfully, but I'll let you finish up. Can we push I wanted to do best Money in the Bank cashes. I actually had pictures and everything for us, but can we push that to next week?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll push that till next week because I don't want to keep you guys too long. So let's finish up with this, and then we'll get on out of here.
You know, for me, I just look at professional wrestling as a series of what ifs and what could have been. And for me, Jey Uso is always going to be on that list for me. There's sometimes where these things work out for the best, and there's sometimes that they don't. You know, to me, there's a lot of money that was left on the table with the Mega Powers. I thought that storyline should have lasted longer than a year. I think that there are so many things as it relates to, Ric Flair. Ric Flair and his run in WWE and why it only lasted a year and a half, 2 years. Things like Stone Cold Steve Austin getting hurt and injured. Those things are beyond people's control. But then, just moments in time that just stand still for me. I know it seems over dramatic. I know it seems crazy, but when Jey Uso was sitting in that corner in Royal Rumble and the fans were chanting his name just because he was standing there with a blank look on his face, that's a moment in time for me, bro. That's a moment in time for me. And I think just now it's starting to dawn on me what you've been saying this whole time. You've been right the whole time, Conrad, that it's never going to come full circle. And you've given me some real life, and shout out to our listeners, and shout out to you for giving our listeners some real life, bro. You've given us some real life reasons about why it's not going to happen. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame because, and you know what? And maybe I need to give Jey Uso some more accountability for this. Maybe I need to start, as much as WWE jacks things up, and we know they jack things up.
But not everybody knows the dirt sheet stuff, though, either. If you're a fan watching this, it would be safe to assume to think like you're thinking. Based on reaction, based on what you see. This is why I'm not dismissing what you're saying at all. Because, listen, do you hear the people? What are they reacting to? Do you see the people? They love the Usos promo on SmackDown this week. I'm just letting people know.
And one more thing to put a close on this, Guy Gamble, I feel you, bro. One more thing, and Conrad, back me up on this or not. Besides Roman Reigns, the Usos are like the faces of SmackDown.
Yeah.
The Usos are the freaking faces of SmackDown right now.
The Bloodline are the faces of SmackDown. Dude, they had Solo just walking around thumbing people in the throat. Like, he took out Ridge Holland like it was nothing.
Well, what might have been, my brother, what might have been. But it's still not, look, we're still walking into Money in the Bank. Anything can happen. My hope of seeing Jey Uso become the world champion, I'm finally starting to see what you've been saying this whole time. It's like, I'm losing hope, man. I'm losing hope.
Listen, we're going to be back next week. We'll probably end up talking about the fallout from Money in the Bank this Saturday. We're going to get Sean's thoughts, my thoughts on that. And also, we'll be talking our favorite Money in the Bank cash-in. So go back this week and try to watch some of those. And you tell me what was your favorite at the time that they happened. I want to hear why. Maybe it's a historical standpoint. Maybe there's a reason why you liked it. Maybe you were in the building. We want to hear why you love the Money in the Bank cash-in. And I'm sure we'll have some extra topics to talk about coming up. Possible interviews happening. We may do a Q&A. There's going to be a lot going on this summer. So get ready to keep it locked with your boys here at Clash of the Podcast. For myself, my tag team partner, Sean Hubbard, we are out. Be on the lookout for Sean's got something coming up with, is it on the 1st?
Yep, Crystal on the morning of the early afternoon of Money in the Bank. Thank you, Conrad. Hubbard Wrestling Week is going to be going live on YouTube. Make sure you check out me and my homegirl Crystal, very educated, smart, lovely young lady. We're going to be talking about the history, the entire lineage of the bloodline, leading into Money in the Bank.
Get your Saturday started right. Listen into that. Also, we'll have a Dynamite review coming up on Wednesday. Just give me some time to put all that together. Be happy to do it. Hopefully Derek's in the building. I'm going to try and talk to him a little bit beforehand to make sure he's in. But we will be back. Make sure you keep it locked in with the channel. AEW Fight Forever is coming out. I'm getting the game. You want that work, send me a message. I'll probably try to send you my PSN. I don't know how much room I got on there, but I'll send you the PSN.
I'm buying the game too, Conrad. They better be paying you for all this. It's because of Conrad Cushman. I'm buying that stupid game.
Come get that work. We are out this week. Thank you. Be here live next Monday at 6:05 for another edition of Clash of the Podcast. Take care.